three idiots on a podcast. Like,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Runs sucks.
We don't know if any of that's true, but Bill. Oh, Jordan, don't give me this technically crap. Come on.
Got personal this week.
Lots of stuff happened.
Chad Berger, Brian Dawson, USD.
Yeah, you're wrong.
You guys do it in a really professional manner, and it's awesome.
Good evening, Coyote fans. Welcome into Season 2, Episode 11 of the Howling Podcast. Chad Berger, Mark Wendt, yours truly, Jordan Decker, all here, ready to go. New friend of the show, USD volleyball player Kamryn Farris will stop by in a little bit. Very much looking forward to visiting with her, discussing some volleyball. We will recap the week that was in Coyote athletics, as well as look ahead to a very busy and important week in sports. Eye chart of the week and new segment, our DQ player of the week, coming up in a little bit. Some business first, though. Quick disclaimer, the opinions on this show are ours and do not represent USD athletics. Social channels, find us on X. If you're watching there live, thanks for joining us. At Howl With Us 3. You can find me at JD6OP5, Mark Wendt at WDiamond605, and Chad Berger at Chad Berger. That's BIRGER at Chad Berger. Facebook, if you're watching on there, thank you very much. If you do not follow us, just search The Howling Podcast. Please like and follow that page. And then on YouTube, search The Howling Podcast. Smash that subscribe button. Leave comments, leave questions for us, for Kamryn tonight. Get some interaction going. As always, tonight's show is brought to you by our friends at 19 Brewing Company in Vermilion. So before we get going, a quick word from Katie at 19 Brewing Company.
Looking for a place where good beer meets better company? Welcome to 19 Brewing Company, Vermilion's first craft brewery and home to Coyote Legacy Blonde Ale. Brought to you by 2 USD alumni, Coyote Legacy isn't just any beer. It's a chance to give back to student scholarships while enjoying a refreshing blonde ale. With 12 rotating taps, a flavor-it-yourself seltzer, and homemade root beer, we have something for every Coyote fan. 19 Brewing Company. Good beer, better company.
We welcome in Chad and Mark. Good to see you guys. I had a few legacies on Saturday. It was just a few. Now, I will say I tried a new one, Vermcat. I believe the full name is Vermcat Disco Sour. Not really a sour beer guy. Excellent choice. So well done.
You don't say. All right. Well, yeah, we had a busy week.
Very
in
busy.
Coyote athletics. Mark, what happened this past week?
Soccer this afternoon. I and Kamryn was there as well, and some of her teammates. Soccer dropped a tough one, 1-0 to Kansas City. They move on in the Summer League tournament. Soccer season is wrapped up for the year. Volleyball went 1-1 on the week, defeating St. Thomas 3-0 and losing in 5 sets to South Dakota State. Football, Jordan and I were there. Nice win over eighth ranked North Dakota, 26-21. The swim and dive Coyote Extravaganza. Coyote men finished first, women finished third. The cross country Summit League Championships down near Omaha, not quite the belly button, but Ashland, Nebraska. Women finished fourth and the men sixth. That was the week that was.
All right. Well, Mark, you brought up a lot of things there. You know, I wasn't able to attend a lot of things this past week. You sound like you're kind of a little salty about that.
It's the time change. I'm grumpy.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and bring in our guest then. We want to welcome new friend of the show, USD volleyball libero defensive specialist Kamryn Farris. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
It's good to have you with us tonight.
Me.
So you guys have had kind of a roller coaster of a season so far. What's it been like so far this season in the Coyote volleyball program?
Yeah, this season's been a lot of fun so far. Obviously, starting with the preseason, our coaches always schedule a really tough preseason, and that way we're challenged then. And so, leading into conference play, we're ready for the battle that we're going to get each night in the Summit League. And so, I think looking back at our preseason, it was kind of seemed like a little joke, but went 2-1 all of those weekends and got some really good wins, and then also just played really good teams that allowed us to get better and grow as a team. And I think this past month, we've really been able to hit our stride in conference and played some of our best volleyball so far. And I know that there's even more to come. So looking forward to the final stretch of conference play and then leading into the Summit League tournament.
Kamryn, we've talked about this elsewhere, but curious your thoughts on, now that you're 2/3 of the way through your final senior season, what's it like being the only senior on the team?
It's definitely a little bit strange. You don't typically just have a class of 1, and I came in with 4, but I was actually just the only junior last year, and then now being the only senior. But it's been a lot of fun. The freshmen and all the underclassmen are they treat me very well, and we all hang out still. And in college, but everyone's pretty much the same age. There's not a big change, and that I'm actually just a 4th-year senior. It's not like the age gap is too far apart. And then even with the juniors, I've been playing with them for the last 3 years. And so been able to build those connections and have been friends with them for a while. And so I think we look at this team as we are pretty young, but we also have talked about, like, we have a lot of experience. We had freshmen that played last year. And so now having sophomores and juniors in big roles this year, it's nothing too crazy new, but just been enjoying every moment of it. And it is a little different because it's not like anyone else is really like, this is my last. And so leading into this week, even senior day, it's just me, but my teammates are also supportive and are excited to celebrate with me. So
Kamryn, let's turn back the clock. You're senior in high school, junior in high school. When you're looking at the next level to play at college, what was your recruitment process like, and ultimately what set USD apart from other schools?
My recruiting process was actually really kind of crazy. So the June 15th date of going into your junior year is when you can start talking to coaches now. Well, when I first started my recruiting process, that wasn't even a rule yet. So I technically started talking to coaches in 8th grade going into my freshman year of high school. And then that's kind of when the rule flipped. And so I had talked to a few coaches and then ultimately got cut off for 2 years. And then when that June 15th date came, South Dakota actually reached out and a bunch of other schools. And this was also a crazy time period because this was when COVID happened. And so shortly after I had started my recruiting process, that I don't even know when it happened, but that fall was when the NCAA granted the 5th year of eligibility for COVID. And at that point, Lolo, the libero here, had decided to take her 5th year. So they no longer really needed a DS in my position, or needed someone in my position for my class. And so I actually stopped talking to South Dakota, I think midway through my junior year, and didn't have contact with them until the very end of my senior year of high school. So from that point to the end of my senior year, I had taken 4 other official visits and still was uncommitted. And in April of my senior year, so almost towards graduation, Michael actually sent me a text and was like, hey, it looks like you're still uncommitted. Like, if this is true and if you have any interest, like, reach out, give me a call. And I got on the phone with Michael and I visited that next weekend, and then I knew that was going to be home. But kind of crazy, but a little bit bittersweet. And it just shows you that everything works out exactly how it's supposed to. And this was the place for me, the community, the program, the culture, just everything about Vermilion I absolutely love. And so, again, just it all works out. But I knew I liked South Dakota when I got that text from Michael because I had done most of the recruiting stuff with them. I had been on Zoom calls. Pretty much I had done everything except for visit campus, which was something that was really important to me in my recruiting process. And so kind of how I ended up as a uncommitted senior, but some stressful moments in the recruiting process being uncommitted, and I actually committed and then moved in here a month later, which isn't the process for most people. They had already done like the whole signing day for my class and everything, so I was kind of a late addition to the team for that year, but it all worked out.
Kamryn, when you joined the Coyote program, there were a lot of superstars already there. What was it like in practice working with such a talented group?
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. My freshman year, we won the regular season and the tournament championship, and pretty much it felt like we were unstoppable that year. Elizabeth Junkie being one of those players I played with, probably the best player I have ever played with, and she was just so much fun to play with. And then Lolo being our libero, she was a great role model for me, and I was able to learn a lot from her. And so that was really special for me as a freshman to have someone to look up to and compete with every day in the gym. And then just building off of that after my freshman year and being able to step into a bigger role, and then hopefully be the same way for some of our freshmen now.
Kamryn, we've noticed as we do the rundown each week, sometimes it seems like teams are avoiding you. Do you feel that as well? Like, don't hit it to Kamryn Farris because then they're in system and it's not going to end well for us.
It's actually really annoying. There's been a couple games that Leanne has actually came up to me when I'm in left back and she's right there. And there was one game, she's like, I think they're purposely not hitting it to you. And I was like, thanks, that's great, because sometimes you feel a little bit helpless when you can't touch the ball. But for me, and for something we talk about as a program, is how can we impact the game in other ways? And so how can I support my teammates around me and build the people up around me and just make our team better? And whether that's touching the ball or not, or even maybe taking the second ball, just finding ways to help the team succeed.
What's your favorite / most memorable match you've played in at USD thus far?
That is really, really hard. So maybe I'll give you a few. My freshman year, the NCAA tournament against Houston was a really, really special moment here. Obviously winning the first NCAA tournament sets in program history, and just being super close to pulling out a win, which is something that we've never done. Houston is actually one of the schools that I visited a couple months prior to committing here, and so that was another cool moment. But then I would say last year, the Summit League championship against SDSU was probably my favorite. Not beating them in the regular season, and then just coming out in the tournament and being fearless, and we gave it everything we had, and we knew we could pull it out. And so that final dog pile was really, really fun.
Kamryn, we were talking before the show about you playing the libero position, and you're a back row player, but you have a few kills in your collegiate career. I think you said 12 career kills before this, or coming into this season, and then you're up to 4 now on this season. Is that correct?
Something like that.
So how did you decide that you were going to specialize as, a libero, someone who doesn't get a lot of opportunities to get up and, do things at the net? And what made you kind of go the route of being such a proficient passer of the volleyball?
Yeah, so I started playing club volleyball at 8 years old. And so I was very small at that time. And when I was 8, I played on an 11s team. And then I played another year of 11s. And then after that, I actually hit those first few years. I hit, set, and pass. It was kind of just me and one of my best friends that I played with did everything. And then moved up to 12s playing when I was 11. And that's when I first started playing libero, and never really looked back. But I played up in club volleyball all the way until I was 16. And so I never really was that tall. And a lot of people look at me now as a tall libero. And you see more and more tall liberos now than you used to, I feel like. But I have played it since I was 12, and I've always loved it. It's a fun position and not always the most flashy, but just setting my team up for success with the first contact and then flying around making plays on the defensive end is a lot of fun too. So
I got to ask you about your team's Halloween costumes. Every year they're epic. How much thought goes into what's going on there? The coaches were Mount Rushmore, and it was one of the best I've seen in a long time.
the coaches always beat us, and I mean, I'll give it to them. They did it again. My sophomore year, they actually dressed up as all like different volleyball things we had in our gym. And so like Michael was like the setter hoop, and like a few of them were like the net. And then I think Abby had a big like cutout volleyball. And so they won that year. And then this year they were playing it down so well. They were like, we don't even have an idea. And we show up to practice, and we actually had film before, and then went and changed, came out. So all of us players were in the gym. And then before we know it, all of the coaches are walking in together because they were wearing a sheet. And we didn't know what it was because everyone surprises each other, and we just don't tell anyone until they see us. And they walked in as Mount Rushmore, and that one was pretty cool, but it's kind of fun. All of us, I mean, we have free range. You can dress up with whoever you want if you want to dress up on your own. And it's always fun to just be creative and have a little fun practice with it.
Who's before matches, who's got the hype music? Are you all listening to your individual stuff? What's the locker room? What's being played?
So a few years ago, our locker room got renovated from Unite for USD, and they actually got us a really, really nice sound system. And so definitely use that. Game days, practice all the time. We're always jamming in the locker room. Catherine is definitely the DJ. She actually has her own DJ board, and she brought it to one of our games and had a whole little setup. We had a little table in the locker room and was playing different remixes. And so we always trust Catherine with the aux.
Duly noted. We should get Catherine to DJ some things this year, maybe like before basketball games.
She's really good.
So you had mentioned a few moments ago that sometimes you take that second, the second hit, or the after someone else passes. How much do you enjoy setting someone when they just absolutely crush the ball to the other side? And how easy is it with this group of young ladies that you have on the squad this year?
I love it. Again, it's not my main thing, but being able to set someone up and generate a swing out of it, and then sometimes even really big kills is really unique. And we talk about it, but getting out of system swings and good swings can set us apart from other teams. And so when Avery gets a dig, I'm able to step in. And I think this year especially, I've been able to get Audrey the ball a decent amount. And I wouldn't say we've always set out of system balls to the right side a ton, but between Audrey and then any of our outsides, it's always really fun to be able to set them up for an out of system kill.
So we're going to do a quick follow-up on that. Jordan, she said a lot of different terminology in there. We're going to quiz you right now. What does out of system mean, Jordan?
Out of system, of course, means it's going against the game plan.
Okay.
Good night, everybody. No idea. Explain it to me like I'm 5.
So, Kamryn, do you want to explain what you mean when you say out of system?
Yeah, I can do that. So out of system would be, I could start with a non-setter taking the ball. So if Avery takes the first ball and someone else is stepping in, that would be an out of system ball. But an out of system ball could also be if someone passes the ball off of the net and Avery's running it down using her platform. I would say anytime someone's using their platform, it's out of system. Avery can run off the net and make a not so great pass look like an in-system pass. And so, yeah, that's out of system.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's when things don't go kind of as planned a little bit, right?
So I was
All right.
kind of right.
I don't think people want to sit and listen to Jordan analyze volleyball all night. Do we?
I don't want to listen to me analyze.
Okay. All right. We'll go to Mark then. Mark, what's your next question?
My next question is, how much do you take? We're going through the second time now in the home and home with the Summit League. How much does the game plan change much when you're seeing the team the second time, or do you pretty much know each other at that point?
I think a mix of both. I think going into the second time, obviously there will be things that we did well the first time we played them, or that they did well. And so you're going to have to change something. If we beat a team the first time, then they're probably planning to change something against us to have success. For me, it's typically not too different. I mean, hitters can hit different shots, but I think the more you get into the game, like the more you know how the game's going. But I would say it's pretty similar to the first time you play them. You definitely know them a little bit better, and again, could kind of just depends on who's having a good night and maybe who we have to pay a little bit more attention to.
This might be a silly question. If there's a rule that you don't like in volleyball, what's a rule that's in volleyball right now that you don't like or you would like to see changed? If there's one.
I don't really know if there is one. They got rid of the double rule in the second contact, and I really like that because I typically never used my hands, and now I'll use my hands on the second ball more often.
Sure.
I guess I would say, so I can't set someone up in front of the 10-foot line with my hands, and they can't jump and swing off of that. They could stay on the ground and swing, but I don't know if you guys have ever noticed it. It's happened a few times. If I take the first ball with my hands in front of the 10-foot line, Avery can't jump up and swing. And so I guess if I could change one, I would say if it was the first contact and I use my hands, someone could send it over on the second one. That's probably confusing for you.
No. That makes perfect sense. I don't know why that rule even exists. Jordan, good question. I don't think he understood the answer, but that was a good question, Jordan.
Nope. But I'll go back and watch and learn. I'll study the film. Okay.
You know what? We're gonna have to get like a rec league volleyball team together, and we're gonna have to invite Jordan to play sometime so he can learn a little bit about volleyball.
Hey, I'm a very humble person. I used to be able to jump very well. So whatever you need me to do, I'm not saying I'll hit the ball over the net, but whatever you need me to do, I'm there. But I can jump.
Okay.
Does that work?
So we're going to break it down here in a little bit, Kamryn, but you guys had a tough one against South Dakota State last night. And how much do teams that are just kind of playing at the top of the conference or top level volleyball, how much do they change things up during the match? And how do you then respond to those type of things? We were talking a little bit about this before the show tonight, but tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the game against SDSU was a very back and forth battle. We came out, won the first set. The second set obviously did not go our way. And then the third set, kind of another battle, finding a way to pull it out in the fourth set. I think you constantly are making changes in order to try to have success. And we talked about it a little bit, but the first set, we were able to swing high hands a lot off of their block. And then they made a change in the second set and were giving us different looks of maybe not even showing hands sometimes. And so when we went to take the high hand swings, there weren't hands in front of us. But obviously with them being very big, just trying to find different ways to score around their block. And I also think something that we talk about is like getting teams out of system and being able to defend one or two pass is a lot easier than being able to defend if they're right on top of the net. And so that game, lots of changes and a back and forth battle, but we were able to learn a lot from playing them. And it was fun volleyball. Ultimately, we want to come out on the other end, but being able to learn more about ourselves and then just become a better team from that game as well.
I'm curious. Obviously, Lauren hasn't played the last couple matches. I don't know if you can give us an update on her condition, but how important is it to have like someone like Sam step in and play well, and you guys have success, as far as confidence moving forward, if a player goes down, someone's behind them to fill the hole.
It's really important. We talk about our depth a lot, and we trust each person on this team to be able to go in and make a difference. And sometimes you never really know when that's going to be. Obviously, we don't hope for any injuries. And Sam's been big in the last few games, and she was actually our kill leader a few nights ago. And that's really special for her to be able to come in and just know that we all believe in her, and for her to have confidence in that moment of stepping into a new role. And then even Ava, she's a freshman, and she's been playing all the way around and just taking on a bigger role than she has had to in the beginning of conference. And it's been really special to watch her even just build confidence as we go on through a match. And again, like I said, our whole team 1 through 17, we trust anyone to go in and make a play in any moment. Catherine actually last night came in, had a big ace in the 5th set that actually tied us back up, and could have been a big momentum changer for us. So yeah, anyone can come in and make a play at any time, and it's really unique to have a team like that. But everyone supporting everyone, and we just all are in it together.
Kamryn, I've got a question. I think it was last week. We took this photo with you. And how cool is it to have young fans come up and ask you for autographs after the game? And then the second part of that, was there any pressure when you were signing the autographs for the girls in this one to maybe like you have a reputation of having impeccable penmanship? Was there any pressure on that one?
Maybe just a little bit, especially because I was holding the paper in my hand. Typically prefer a nice hard surface to be able to make it look nice and pretty. But as far as the little girls go, it's probably one of my favorite parts of playing and favorite parts of being here. I've had multiple little girls in my time here over the past 4 years that I've just been able to develop a relationship with on and off the court, whether it's seeing them at the elementary school and volunteering, or seeing them at games, them waiting after games for a picture, an autograph. It just means so much. And I hope I can have a huge impact on them. And they definitely have a huge impact on me, and just remember why I do it. And we play for something so much bigger than ourselves. And I know that I was once the little girl in the stands that looked up to college athletes and college volleyball players specifically. And so I think just I take in every moment, and it means a lot to me.
I know my girls appreciated it very much. So last one for me. Have you ever called somebody and pretended to be a minion?
I have not, but I guess I still can't tell you who it is. So you'll just have to keep talking to volleyball players until you figure it out.
We're on it.
All right. Check her off the list, guys. Keep going down the list here.
Sharpied. It's not Kamryn Farris. We have Sharpied her out.
Yep. One final question for me, Kamryn. So you're a senior this year. Senior night's coming up. What do you have planned for the future? Are you going to look to coach? Are you going to look to continue playing somewhere? Do you just have plans to move on and start a career, start a 9 to 5? I mean, what do you got planned after volleyball is over?
I wish I could tell you for sure, but so right now I started grad school this fall. There's a new program where you can do undergrad and graduate school at the same time. So I started my MBA, and I will finish that end of summer. And so I'm for sure here through the spring, and then I'll go all online and finish up in the summer. As to what comes after that, not completely sure. I love all of athletics, so maybe if I find something within athletics, that would be awesome, but kind of hoping the spring I'll have more free time to be able to explore and just see what opportunities there are. If I finish season and I really miss playing, after I'm done here, I could actually go play a 5th year of beach volleyball if I wanted to somewhere, but kind of all undecided, unsure, but taking right now day by day and kind of just trying to enjoy the rest of my senior season and not look too far into the future until I can finish up here.
Awesome. Yeah, we still, the three of us still don't know what we want to do when we grow up either. So
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Well,
that's all good. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Kamryn. Awesome, amazing stuff. We're looking forward to seeing you on the court the rest of the season here and following the Yotes, hopefully into a successful postseason run.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for all your support.
All right.
Thanks, Cam.
Thank you.
thanks, Kamryn. Good luck.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. We're still batting 1,000, guys. Yep.
A plus. A plus.
Spectacular.
She's
All right.
great.
Well, we do have a new sponsor. Jordan, do you want to talk us through this one?
Welcome aboard Dairy Queen. DQ, meet me at DQ, Vermilion, Hartford, Del Rapids, new sponsor of the new segment of the show, our Player of the Week. We'll get into that. So, Lonnie, if you're listening, can't thank you enough for the sponsorship. And look at this. If you're watching, holiday treat menu, new holiday treat menu. You got the holiday eggnog shake or holiday nog shake. Then you got the frosted sugar cookie blizzard. And then the new peppermint bark blizzard. Now, guys, of the three choices, which one are you going with first this holiday season?
I'm going to stay far away from the nog. I think I'm a sugar cookie blizzard guy. Those are my choices.
I'd like to try the peppermint bark blizzard, but I just want to try it. I don't know if I want a whole one of those. I just want like maybe that's one of the ones I get, and I know my wife's with me, and I know she's going to ask me for some of that.
Yeah.
So we split it up.
Now, I can't have eggnog straight up. So if this holiday nog shake, if it's appropriate to add a little bit of rum into it, I don't know if that would taste good. I don't know. We're going to have to find out, and I'll be sure to let you guys know, obviously. I'm going with sugar cookie, though. That's going.
Sure.
But anyways, hey, welcome aboard, Dairy Queen. Appreciate the sponsorship of the Player of the Week segment going forward. But yeah, really happy to have them.
Yeah, fantastic.
All right. We're excited for DQ. We want to, really support them. So watch for some stuff from us over the next few weeks here. We'll have to do some promotional content for DQ. I love ice cream. I love all the stuff that they have. They've got good burgers there. They've got good chicken tenders. I mean, we can go down the list. They've got everything that we want. So excited for this sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
All right. News and notes, Mark.
As we just mentioned, welcome aboard Dairy Queen. Really happy to have them on board. Chad Berger's becoming a radio icon. He was on with Michael Schumacher again this past week. I don't know, plans to be on again this week, Chad? No? Yes?
I don't have anything scheduled as of now.
All right.
Hoping to get you guys on the show sometime too. Yeah.
We're available, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe when we get into basketball season here,
That's fair.
Yeah.
No, we appreciate him having us on, or chat on as well. So there's a lot of chatter on social media here the last couple of days about Denver leaving the Summit League for the West Coast Conference. I have not seen anything official, but that would drop us down to an even number 8, which is good. But I think the 8 number kind of puts us, all 8 of us better be pulling the same direction. Otherwise we start losing auto bids and stuff like that. So you can see how that shakes out. Howling Podcast Veteran of the Week for the third consecutive week is none other than Mark Wendt. So I'm honored. Thank you very much.
Congrats, Mark.
And the Howling Podcast Professor of the Week again for the 3rd consecutive week is Dr. Carrie Oyen. So congratulations.
Way to go, Dr. O.
Just maintaining the title there. I don't see anybody knocking her off here. It's going to be hard to beat, really hard to beat. So,
many other professors,
Well, if you want to nominate any professors or veterans for the Howling Podcast Veteran of the Week or Professor of the Week, how do you do that, Mark?
Well, just hit us up on social media, and we will take note of that. and we'll
That's
tell you.
Chad Berger, Birger at Chad Berger.
Dr.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump right in then and talk about football. So football hosted UND and ended up on the winning end of this 26-21. South Dakota, of course, led off the scoring in the first quarter with that gigantic 2-point lead. Baseball ended last night, but 2-0 at the end of the first quarter. It felt like a baseball score. And then tacked on 2 more touchdowns to North Dakota's 1 to lead 16-7 at halftime, and then put 10 more up in the third quarter, and then we're able to hang on for that 26-21 lead. This one was in front of 6,800 people on Saturday afternoon in the 72-degree Dakota Dome. You guys were there? What were your thoughts?
Well, I think that was all 3 phases chipped in there. We've talked a lot about the offense struggling to score, and one of the fixes for that is have the special teams and defense score for you. So we did that with a block punt for a safety, and then we had a scoop and score for 80 yards and a touchdown as well to help the offense out. And for the most part, it felt like the old Yotes a little bit. We were in control most of that game, and didn't feel like, maybe towards the end there we got a little nervous, but for the most part we were in control of that game. It sure felt like so.
Yeah, ditto what Mark said. I thought the offense played really, really well. Loved the play of the line. It was great to get the tight end involved. I didn't even say anything about the offense. I'm already getting the ribbon on there. But all 3 facets they played great. And UND, I mean, they weren't just going to roll over down 26-7. But, I thought there were some plays like where I don't know his number, but the UND put like almost a triple move on our cornerback for that long pass. I think eventually led to a touchdown, but that's going to happen. But I thought everyone did their part. There were some plays that we were starting to shoot ourselves in the foot a little bit, like spear tackling a punt return guy when the ball's still in the air, and then kind of, for lack of a better term, showboating into the end zone on that fumble recovery touchdown. Everyone around us was like, just run, just get in the end zone. But hey, it's exciting. You saw the videos after the game. The guys are excited. The coaches are excited. That was Coyote football. That's what we've been waiting for. And hey, it's a dub. It's a Missouri Valley dub, and really looking forward to seeing it continue this week.
Jordan, wondering how many touchdowns you've scored in your collegiate career?
0.
Okay, so yeah, we can't. None of us can say how we would react in those similar situations there.
No, but as a fan,
okay, you can question how they would do it. Yes,
straight run. This is a great picture.
So Mark mentioned the special teams. This one was after the Yotes defense was lights out right away, held UND to a punt, and then the Yotes offense just methodically just matriculated the ball down the field, but got stuffed on a 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. And so then the defense stepped up again and forced another punt. This one was from the back of the end zone. And what happened, Mark?
Well, Jaden Brown just lays out there just perfectly, and it hits him right in the face mask and bounces out of the back of the end zone. And what turned into, when we get stuffed on 4th down, the crowd's kind of like, here we go again kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And Jaden certainly lifted the spirits in the Dakota Dome, and it was on from there. So beautifully done. I think we were talking, I forget who asked me. Someone asked me last time there was a block punt in the Dakota Dome. I can't remember one. I remember one at South Dakota State years ago, but I can't say that I remember a block punt. I'm sure there was one, but I sure don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I actually broke it down on film, and North Dakota, I don't know what their back guys were doing, because they did not even attempt to lay a hand on the rusher on that one. So yeah, it was very interesting blocking scheme there. And then you also mentioned the scoop and score as well. 80-yard scoop and score, phenomenal play there. as far as the Yotes went, you can see some of the stats on here. You can see the 2 interceptions were one of the things that Mark highlighted on this one. And then the fumbles and, big turning points, the turnovers in the game.
Yep. Lose the turnover battle, lose the game. That's true more times than not. So, and we certainly won the turnover battle. So,
any comments on the rest of these stats here, Jordan?
No, I think we had the time of possession. It was like 4 or 5 minutes extra, but no rushing. The rushing attempt yard average is a little surprising, but UND is a great. They're a really good football team, and I still think we left points out there too on the offensive end. There were some things, but well done. Well done.
All right. As far as statistics go, Aiden Bauman was 14 for 20 for 173 yards and a touchdown. LJ Phillips Jr., 24 carries, 106 yards and a touchdown. Lorenzo Fenner, 2 catches, but they were both big ones. 40-yarder to start the game, and then a 43-yard touchdown later on.
And Mark, that was play action, right?
it was play action.
Yes, it was. Favorite play.
Favorite play. It's a scheme, right? It's not a play, but that's okay.
It's in system. So
it's in system. There we go.
That's right.
Jesse Miller had 4 catches for 35 yards, and there were 7 different receivers with at least 1 catch.
Yes.
In this game for the Yotes. As always, defense lights out, spectacular. Here's some of the defensive totals. Mark, you want to go through any of those?
We've seen Nate Ewell up at the top of this stat sheet, I think, every week that I can remember. The other one I highlighted here is Mikey Munn. He had that pass breakup. He had that North Dakota guy was behind him, and I thought for sure that was a touchdown. And he leaped up at the last moment and tipped it almost to himself. Almost was an interception, but just a phenomenal play on the back end there to save a touchdown. I thought that was a really big play in the game. And then obviously a couple interceptions there that are obviously huge as far as the game goes. So.
Yeah, Matt's intercept. I thought the quarterback was throwing it out of bounds. If that was the intention, he was like, nope. So well done.
So overall, great game by the Yotes. Big victory, especially for the program morale, but also for the Missouri Valley Football Conference standings. Mm-hmm. North Dakota was undefeated in conference coming into the game. Now they have that 1 loss. It jumps South Dakota up to 4-2, which puts the Yotes in 3rd place right now in the conference. North Dakota State still undefeated, but North Dakota at 4-1, and then South Dakota at 4-2. Plus, it gives the Yotes that head-to-head tiebreak, right? And so that's always a big deal going into that. So lots of good things here going on in the standings, but South Dakota being in 3rd at this point in the season, very promising.
And the 4 Dakota, most other schools have 3 games left. We've got the 2 because our bye is at the end. UND's got to play both XTSUs, but luckily they get them at home. STSU doesn't have an easy schedule remaining. I'm not sure about North Dakota State, but they for sure have to play North Dakota. So we're right in the mix of it again.
Yep.
It's interesting how different things are a week by week in the Missouri Valley.
1 week makes a big difference.
Us fans are so bipolar, aren't we? Jeez.
Well, but hold on. It's not just the Yotes here. There was a lot of different things that happened in the Missouri Valley. It was a week.
Yeah. Go trees.
Big
Sycamore. Yeah.
Big
Sycamore's impressive win over the weekend. Yep. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit of volleyball. We had Kamryn Farris on. She talked about the team, the program, everything else. But volleyball came out Thursday, went to St. Thomas in front of 412 people and dismantled the Tommies.
412 Yote fans, I think, based on what I saw on Summer League Network. In fact, the guy commented it. He was like, I think the St. Thomas fans showed up. It was Halloween. He was questioning whether St. Thomas fans showed up dressed as Yote fans. So good turnout for the Yote faithful there. They were They were awesome.
And this one, 25-21, 28-26, and then 25-22. Impressive fashion as far as the victory goes here. And you can see some of the statistics. Kamryn Farris, friend of the show tonight, 1 kill with a 1,000 attack percentage right there. So let's go.
Give her the ball.
Also led the team with 21 digs, as she normally does. Avery Van Hook, 30 assists on the night. And then look at some of the other numbers here. Morgan Bodie, another friend of the show, hitting 429 in this one. Audrey Nelson also had a good game. Lots of Yotes doing some great things here. And so you can see the results for that. But 3-0 is the major thing here. Sweeping up St. Thomas on the road in St. Paul.
Played well.
So then on Saturday, the Yotes went to South Dakota State, and Kamryn talked about it earlier, but it was a tough one. It was Yotes come out, win the first one, 25-22, then drop the second one, 25-13, drop the third one, 25-22, but then come back and win the fourth set, 25-19. And then that fifth set, unfortunately, kind of was some South Dakota State doing some good things, and the Yotes not really returning it. But 15-8 on that one. Yotes dropped this one 3-2, dropped the season series 2-0 against South Dakota State. But you guys look at the attendance on this one. When was the last? I mean, other than the last 2 years, if you go back and review attendance up at Frost or whatever they call it now, First Bank and Trust, 2,500 people. I mean, that's volleyball, right?
Yeah.
It's exploded up there. Yeah. They have a good team. No getting around that.
Well, they have a good team, but the Yotes also, I mean, like, they're not drawing 2,500 against, bottom feeders. They want the Yotes.
Yep.
And so,
we
got to.
Yeah, good contingency of Coyote fans there too, I thought, for a Saturday night after a home football game.
Yep.
Decent amount of red. So,
and as far as the statistics go, we see some good things happening here. There's not like a lot of negative percentages or anything on there, but Ava Ball, the freshman, I mean, hitting 300 against the size of South Dakota State, that's really, really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Any other comments on this one?
I just thought it was really interesting to listen to Kamryn explain how things changed there from set to set with how South Dakota State was handling their block and how we were trying to play off that. And I thought that was really interesting stuff. I know Jordan and I would never, ever notice. Maybe Chad notices, but no, it was good stuff.
Do you know what she meant when she said, like, get hands and, like, high hands and that type of stuff? Do you guys know what that meant?
I mean, it makes sense.
We're going to hit it off their hands and it flies into the third row in the back. That's the idea. But then if they're not there, then you're just hitting it out of bounds. Right?
Yeah. I mean, essentially, you're talking about, like, when they go up to block you, you're essentially swinging to try to hit it off the top of their fingers and then have it, shank off to the side and stuff like that. But it was just fascinating. I love listening to volleyball people sit and talk about strategy and whatever else. So phenomenal stuff. As far as the standings go for the Summit League, South Dakota, with the big couple week run here, now has jumped to 8-4 in the conference. Having played 12 matches already, St. Thomas has only played 11. And so St. Thomas, I think, still has to play South Dakota State for a second time as well. So essentially, South Dakota holds the tiebreaker over St. Thomas in that scenario. We're not saying what's going to happen, but the Yotes are in good position to finish second or third if they can take care of business here the last couple weeks of the season.
Yep. And I think they will.
Yeah. I think so too, based on what we've seen.
They're playing really good volleyball. Like Coach Williams said, even on the Coyote Report on Monday, she's like, even in the loss against SDSU and Vermilion, they were playing good volleyball. The last few weeks or so. Losses stink, but they're playing well. They're getting better each match.
So if you look at some of the other teams here in the standings, you see Denver's at 7-5, North Dakota State 7-4, Omaha 4-7, and so we kind of go into who the Yotes play this next week, and at home Thursday night Omaha, and then Saturday at home Senior Day Kansas City. So some good chances here for the Yotes to continue to do good things, but you can't have any letdown games here in this one. I mean, just playing the tough teams over the past couple weeks, you got to beat some of those bottom teams here as well.
I know I told you this off air, but petition to move Senior Day to not the game this Saturday, the match this Saturday, as it's right before the football game. I'm just going to put it out there, petition, if we can possibly move it to the last home match of the regular season. That way we can get everybody, as many people as they deserve to get for the crowd.
Yeah. I mean, that would be, is what it is, I guess.
Yep.
Everyone will be there. Just hop in and watch the first set if that's what you want to do. Because we're all going to be up in tailgate lot, right?
Yeah.
Put it on the big board out there, the video board.
Well, people got to go in. I think that's the thing. Got to go support the Yotes. Yotes got to support Yotes. That's
support
my thing.
Yotes.
Yep. All right. So soccer, Mark, you mentioned this earlier.
Yeah, it was a tough one. Kansas City got a goal on a corner kick. You know how these things ping pong around in the box there, and they got one to go in pretty early. And the Yotes were never really. We had a few chances, never really got anything on net that I can recall. Maybe one or two. But Kansas City played well, and it got a little chippy, and we were yelling at officials, and great fans. I highlighted the number there. I would take the over on attendance there. It felt like there was pushing 5. I don't know how many the stands hold, but the stands were full. A really good crowd. So unfortunately, the season ends for soccer. I got to hang out with some of the parents, awesome people, and I do want to shout out seniors: Kaya Peters, Campbell Zimmers, Brooklyn Bortson, Riley Haldeman, Ashby Johnson, Izzy Quintavalle, Morgan Sullivan, all of them. As we give the scores each week, we mention these folks. So I thought they had a good season. They're not far away. It was fun. I'm not a soccer aficionado by any stretch of the imagination, but I really did enjoy following them this year. So wish them well in whatever's next for them.
All right. Next up, the Howling Podcast, due to our new sponsor here, is starting a new segment called the Howling Podcast Player of the Week. This is presented by DQ of Vermilion, Hartford, and Del Rapids. And so this week's Howling Podcast Player of the Week is LJ Phillips Jr. LJ Phillips Jr. finished the football game on Saturday with 24 carries for 106 yards and that touchdown, earning him the Howling Podcast Player of the Week presented by DQ.
Now, and I want to mention this too going forward. Us three are going to have our nominations. We encourage fans to, if you're paying attention, we try to pay attention to everything, right? But if you're a swim and dive fan and a student athlete has a great meet or two during the week, let us know. Comment on one of the social posts that the USD Athletics puts out. Tag us in it, Athlete of the Week nominee, and we'll definitely take a look at it. We're going to take a look across all sports, but we really want the fans to get involved too. So just in case we do miss something from another sport.
Or if you want to nominate an offensive lineman or something like that, feel free. Do that. Nominate anyone you want. Just send them to us. The DMs are always open. I think they are. I don't know. Maybe they're not. But if they're not, just reach out to Mark or I or Jordan, and we'll take care of it.
It's not, it's not just football, volleyball, basketball starting up, swim and dive, everything. Just keep us in the loop.
All right. So you guys had a good time this weekend, huh?
We tried. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the picture on the right there, that's the tailgating crew for the soccer game this afternoon. You guys will be shocked to learn that each and every one of those folks in that picture was just A+. Fantastic. It's hard to find somebody at USD involved in athletics, or it's just so hard to find somebody that you're like, I do not like that person. So shout out to the soccer folks. They were awesome. If you're seniors, we'll miss you, but had a great time.
What's going on with the lighting in that one? With your face?
Yeah, there was something called the sun that was shining intensely bright. I haven't seen it in a few days, but that was.
You just decided you were just going to peek just your upper lip and everything.
When I turned around to take the picture, I could not see anything. I couldn't see my phone. I was just hitting buttons, and that's what we came up with. So
Pretty good.
Yeah.
How about this picture on the left? What's going on here?
Well, that's a great group of folks right there. That was at halftime of the Oats game. Some fam, some friends. Mark came up. We discussed, of course, the offense. You know, that's just what we do. But yeah, the fam had a great time. Boys were super engaged into the game for once, which was great. My youngest is not having it at this particular moment, so he's not in the picture. But
I was gonna say you're missing one of them, Jordan.
Yeah, he's right behind my head in that seat.
Okay.
He was not having it. He talks a big game, but when the spotlight comes on him, he gets shy. We're gonna have to work on that.
Hey.
And this, of course, is at 19 Brewing Company in Vermilion. Those are a couple of legacies holding beer, or a couple of fans holding some legacy beers. It was a good time. We watched the end of another football game that had a huge upset. Sycamores. Played some games, had some fun, and then had to bolt back to Sioux Falls.
Always a good time at 19. Always a good time.
If we didn't have to get back, we were going to order food. I need to try the cheeseburger egg rolls.
Yes.
Yeah, gotta have them.
Monday through Thursday or Friday on those egg rolls, though.
Oh, that's right.
You got to pay attention to the menu on that one.
Yeah, small print. Yep.
But yeah, we got to definitely get some of those. But my wife and I had one of the pizzas here a couple weekends ago, and it was fantastic as well.
Phenomenal
so yeah,
pizza.
All kinds of good stuff going on there at 19 Brewing. All right, so what's coming up this week, Mark?
Football, you might have heard. There's a small football game happening. I believe it's sold out. We play the team that lost to Indiana State, 3:00. Tailgate opens at 9 a.m. So pace yourself. Volleyball.
Well, go for a couple hours, then go to volleyball. Then yeah.
There you go. That's the plan.
Then head back out after. Yep.
That's the plan. Volleyball will be down in the Belly Button. Oh no, the Belly Button's coming up here. Omaha, Thursday, 7 p.m. And then we play Kansas City, Saturday, 11 a.m. We're all going to be in the tailgate lot. Let's all go in, like Chad said, and we can go back out after. Triathlon will be at the National Championships near the Mecca of the Summit League in Tempe, Arizona on Saturday. Good luck to them. And it's officially crossover season. Basketball tomorrow. Cannot wait. Tipsy at the tip. It's all back.
We are so back.
The women host York at 5 p.m. tomorrow. I'm taking off work early to get there. That'll be followed by the men playing Utah Tech. And then Friday at 11, the women play Air Force. That's the education game. That'll be a tricky one for me to get to, but all the area kids will be there. They'll
bring your earplugs.
Yep. You probably won't be able to sit in your season ticket because there'll be kids there. So understand that if you're a retired person going to this game. Always a good time though. Super loud, super crazy. And then on Wednesday, the men will travel to Creighton. So really excited for basketball season. I think we got two really good squads.
Where's Creighton?
The Belly Button. A lot of
deep
belly button.
Deep in the belly button.
So did we talk about this on the show, or
we did not? This is an inside joke that nobody has any idea what the hell we're talking about.
I thought we talked about it on the show.
No.
All right. Well, so Omaha, Mark and I went on a road trip to Omaha last year, and Mark talked about his displeasure for Runza, which is a Nebraska-based company. But overall, Omaha, it's a town, right? It's a city, okay? But it's like right in the middle of America. And so what's in the middle of your body? It's your belly button. And it's just kind of there. It doesn't really do anything, but it's there. And it just collects a lot of lint. And so that's kind of like Omaha. And so we call it the belly button of America.
I love it. It makes me laugh.
Are you calling Creighton the lint of America? Lint of belly button?
Hey, it's just there. I mean, it is what it is. So we had a good time with that. I thought we had talked about it on the show previously last week when I said it, but apparently I had not. So
if we're going to talk crap about cities that we travel to our friends in Fargo, if we're making that trip this year, if it's further north, what does that make Fargo? Or do we want to save that for another show?
We'll save that for another show.
We'll think of a name.
Yeah. Cool. And now.
And that's just what they wanted to do there. And all things considered, again, as you see the iChart cardboard cutout, how appropriate.
Through the review, the iChart made its way to the video board. It really injected some energy.
Our own Mark Wendt is famous for holding up his eye chart at basketball games when officials make questionable calls. So we go ahead and give our eye chart of the week moments to things that happened, whether they're in games or in life over the past week, where maybe some questionable calls or decisions were made. As far as the eye chart goes, last week we all gave our results, and Jordan Decker won over 18,000 votes, and USD fans leaving games early. Never a good decision, but that ended up winning. Followed by Sac State President Dr. Wood, and then Thursday night high school football. I don't know how it got that low of votes, but whatever. That ended up in third place. So Jordan Decker, you won the eye chart of the week. It's your time right now.
I appreciate all the voters. It's once again nice to be the winner of this eye chart of the week once again this season. But so I am a YouTube TV customer. And so my eye chart of the week is going to Disney/ESPN. I am on YouTube TV side in this whole ordeal of them not reaching an agreement with Disney and ESPN. I think this is a big time money grab for Disney to try to woo people to their new $30 a month package that they have. YouTube TV is constantly in these agreements and threatening with certain channels. And just my opinion, I think that means they're trying to negotiate on the lower end of things and fight for us viewers. Obviously, they're all greedy. They're all a part of multi-billion dollar corporations. But so I am siding with YouTube TV. ESPN can pound sand at the moment. And my eye chart is Disney/ESPN.
I managed to make it through the week without ESPN just fine.
Yep.
Might do it again. So my eye chart of the week is going to be a repeat offender. We talked about it before, Vermilion being the size that it is and how we need everybody on board when it comes to game days in Vermilion. The Varsity Pub once again posted on their social media sites. Come pregame, come postgame, or watch the whole thing here. We got the cold ones covered. I don't know what to say about this. I think I said it last time. You got to do better. We got to be better. You claim you're supporting the Yotes in the post. Well, actually do it. You can stay open during the game, but don't advertise or don't try to get people to come to the game. There's a game in town. Let's go to the game. and then let's party at the varsity afterwards. That should be the post, in my humble opinion. And I'm not running the business. I get it, but come on, varsity, you got to do better. You get my eye chart of the week.
Well said.
I don't know how many times we have to keep saying this, businesses in Vermilion, but yeah, figure it out. I don't know, like, what else to say there. Figure it out. All right. I had several nominees over the past week. Thursday night high school playoffs happened. Watertown did not get home until 4:15 a.m. on a school day from their high school football playoff game. Just one instance of schools that had to travel all the way across the state on a school night. Additionally, anytime anyone talks about their fantasy team, whatever the sport is, that is not a good thing as well. That's another potential nominee. But my eye chart of the week for this week goes to the person who is sitting 2 seats down from my wife at the All-State Chorus and Orchestra concert on Saturday night and decided to talk during the performance. What are we doing here? People are paying $30+ per ticket for this event to hear the kids, not to listen to you talk. If you are at a concert or performance, zip it. We've already discussed this. I don't know what we have to go over anymore. Do not talk at concerts. That's my eye chart of the week.
Preach.
Okay, sorry.
Preach. This is going to be, last week was close. I think this is going to be closer.
Couple of
These are some
repeat offenders this week.
Yeah. I went over this last spring. I mean, I don't know what we have to do here.
I'm the same way. I mean, like with going to band concerts too. Like people talk, they're on their phones.
Do you know what? The three of us maybe need to do some public service announcement videos on how people should behave when they're at concerts and performances.
And Chad, I'm assuming if it was a digital program or if they had a paper one, all the ones that we go to, over at Roosevelt, on the program, it's like, please do not talk during performances and please make sure your phones are put away and on silent, not to disrupt the performers.
But we should not even have to say that to grown adults at a performance for kids, for high school.
They think a classical concert like band, orchestra, choir is like going to a rock concert. It's the same thing. I'm in the Denny, No, it's different. Different. It's classy.
Yeah. I can't even say some things that I would have liked to. Like to have said to said person. But I just, sit there and just try to, shh type of thing. But you try to be polite. As always, remember the opinions expressed on the show are solely those of Mark, Jordan, and Chad, and do not reflect the opinions or beliefs of USD or the USD Athletic Department. If you're at a game, though, talk, yell, cheer, okay?
Yeah.
You can do that stuff at games, yep. But yeah, yep. If you're at a concert performance, especially orchestra, where there's different movements, and I don't even know that much about it, but I do know that it kind of like builds up and tells a story, and you have to like be really, perceptive to what's happening there, okay? Anywho. Yeah. As always, if you or anyone needs help with anything, there's people out there that'll listen to you. Call, text, or chat 988. You can have someone on the other line. No judgment, just help. Suicide or any type of crisis, just call if you need someone to talk to, and they'll help you out.
Amen.
All right. Additionally, special thanks to our title sponsor, 19 Brewing Company, Main Street, Vermilion. Head on in, try one of the beers on tap, the root beer, play some games, lounge about, do your homework, do your whatever you need to do. Try the egg rolls or the pizza, but make sure to tell them the Howling Podcast sent you.
Great place if you are coming into Vermilion, if you're out of town, first game of the year, great place to go before and after the game.
Correct.
And thank you to our newest sponsor, DQ. DQ. go get some food. Go get some ice cream. We got to figure out what to say here for DQ, but
dilly. We need some dilly bars. That's what we
dilly
need.
Bars.
We got to close out each episode eating a dilly bar. Dilly.
Oh, we might have to work on that. That's going to be a good one. All right.
Where's your flag?
I think we covered everything. Do you guys feel like we got everything?
Production of Wakanda Peach Company, LLC.
As always, the Howling Podcast is produced by the Wakanda Peach Company, LLC, out of Burbank, South Dakota. Well, guys, great show tonight. Great job by Kamryn Farris. Appreciate her having her on. Excellent. A+ guest. For Jordan Decker, for Mark Wendt, I'm Chad Berger. Until next time, go Yotes.
Go Yotes.
Let's go! 3 idiots on a podcast. Like,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Runza sucks.
We don't know if any of that's true, but Jordan, don't give me this technically crap. Come on.
Got personal this week.
Lots of stuff happened. Just
Chad Berger, Brian Dawson, USD.
Yeah, you're wrong.
You guys do it in a really professional manner, and it's awesome.